Hey viewers, welcome to VL Astrology. Once again, I'm Vanita Lenka. I'm a Vedic astrologer and I use the sidereal zodiac to predict. And this is a one-stop channel where you will get to know the forecast and the predictions, as well as short tutorials that I have made. You can go back to the playlist and you will get all the videos that I have made, and I've imparted a little bit of knowledge that I have. And what exactly is the highlight of the month? The main highlight is that we have a lunar eclipse happening this month. And that's in lunar eclipse is when sun and moon are right opposite each other, and it's a full moon time. And after every 15 days, whenever there is a lunar eclipse, there is a solar eclipse, or the vice versa. So this time it is going to be a very important one because it is in Scorpio Taurus axis. So you have to be a little extra careful about your health. The leaders, the authorities, there can be some scandals we can hear, and no event takes place on the day the phenomena is taking place. For lunar eclipse 1 month, and for solar eclipse 3 months plus minus we do take. I'll be sharing all the dates with you one by one, and then I'll be doing the predictive for all the 12 signs. Whichever resonates more with your ascendant or moon sign, you just hear yourself both and then decide for yourself which one is impacting you more. So let's start with the dates first. So this is the transits for November 2021. What are the planetary positions? Sun is going to be in Libra till the 16th of November, mid of November, and is going to be entering Scorpio, because of which the lunar eclipse will be taking place in the sign or in the axis of Scorpio and Taurus. So this is pretty precarious as far as the dignitaries, the authorities, authoritative figures is concerned. Though sun is coming out of the sign of debilitation, but entering the sign where Ketu is already there, so we can expect some major scandals. We'll be hearing more about the authorities making some wrong decisions, or there will be some major strategy plannings which will be happening during this time. Mars is going to be in Libra sign till the 5th of December, and it's going to be combust to the 21st of November, and then it starts rising. So this is also not considered to be that great, and in Libra it's aspecting Saturn, and it's going to be aspected by Saturn, so they are mutually aspecting each other. So again, this is related to your the structure planning in a very meticulous manner. Of course, all these planetary positions, they are all dependent on your personal charts. So these are all general predictions. Mercury will be in Virgo sign till the 2nd of November and will be entering Libra again. So here the dates are already mentioned, that it was in Libra from 22nd of September to the 2nd of October. So how it has been during that time, you have to check yourself. Now moving into Libra again would be quite similar, maybe some unfinished tasks related to your relationship, something related to your communication. You will be inclined towards the relationships even more. Mercury will be in Scorpio sign from 21st of November till the 10th of December, and would be also, part of the solar eclipse. Not of the lunar eclipse, because lunar eclipse happens on the 19th when Mercury is in Libra. Venus is going to be in Sagittarius till the 8th of December, would be transiting through Capricorn from 8th December to 30th December, and then in Sagittarius again. So it's a long transit till the 27th of February of this Venus in Sagittarius, because of the retrograde phase, because Venus will be turning retrograde in Capricorn on the December 19th. So till 8th of December, it's going to be in Sagittarius, and then moves a little bit in Capricorn, and then comes back to Sagittarius on the 30th of December. So till January 29th, this Venus is going to become in retrogression. Jupiter is going to be in Dhanishta Nakshatra and would be entering Shatavisha only in the month of January. So it's going to be in Dhanishta, but it is majorly the majormost transit is that it's entering the Aquarius sign. So this is again a very important transit, because it's entering on the 20th of November into the Aquarius sign. Saturn is going to be moving in Taurus Navamansha from the 7th of November onwards till the 22nd of December. So this is also very important, because Taurus sign is in D9 is also, you know, like if we superimpose, so the eclipse is happening in this axis. So can you see all the planets are getting involved in this eclipse, in these two eclipses? Rahu Ketu are Taurus and Scorpio axis, and of course in Kritika Nakshatra is Rahu and Anuradha Nakshatra is Ketu, and they are in the Pisces and Virgo Navmansha axis from the 19th of September to the 5th of January. You know, the Pisces people and the Virgo people will be feeling these energies even more to make the decisions or to be feeling detached. All this is quite likely with the Pisces, Virgo, Navmansha getting active. Second Kalsarpa starts in the month of December, 5th of December. Again, you have to make a note of this. New moon, we have Diwali. So that is on the 4th of November from 6:03 a.m. to 5th November, 2:44 a.m. Full moon we have, that is Purnima, from the 18th of November to the 19th of November. That is when we have the lunar eclipse. And lunar eclipse is on the 19th of November, 9:02 GMT, Scorpio Sun, Taurus Moon, that's a full moon. And solar eclipse is 4th December, 7:33 GMT, Sun and Moon in Scorpio, that is the new moon. So this is again a very important one. And you can make a note of the festivals this month. Vrishchika Sankranti, that is Sun's ingress into Scorpio sign. So that is happening on the 16th. So please make a note of these dates, and I will be sharing with you how the sky looks like, the horoscope looks like for one and all on the 1st of November. You can see that Sun, Mars, and Mercury are being aspected by Saturn. Mars is going to be all through here this month, and Mercury is going to be changing signs. It's going to be entering Scorpio on the 21st of November. So till 21st of November, Mercury is going to be aspected by Saturn. Mars is going to be aspected by Saturn, mutually aspecting Saturn, in fact. Sun is going to be entering on the 16th of November, Scorpio sign. Venus is going to be in Sagittarius the whole month long. It's going to be there till the 7th of December. And then we'll be entering Capricorn and we'll be coming back to Sagittarius. So this is what the sky looks like. And we have in the lunar eclipse in the axis of Taurus and Scorpio. This year we have only got eclipses. Otherwise, you know, we generally have 5, 6, 7 eclipses. So this year, you know, we have that kind of saving grace. But yes, in the Scorpio sign, when the lunar eclipse takes place, there is a lot of mental anxiety people will go through. There can be some health issues also, because this is the Scorpio sign after all in the natural zodiac, and it impacts us mentally where the moon debilitates as well. So you have to be extra careful about your mental setup and health, and there can be some scandals that can actually reveal. So you have to be extra cautious about that as well. And you see, whenever in the sign of Mars, any fiery planets enter, Ketu is a fiery planet, Sun is also going to be fiery and is going to be getting an eclipse. So this also leads to a lot of aggression in people. There can be some, warlike situation, health issues. So you have to be extra cautious about your health as well. That's why I'm repeatedly stressing on that. So let's start with the predictive. All right, for Aries native, this month is going to be leading to a lot of boldness in you. You're going to be having a lot of zeal to complete the task. In relationship, you can go a little aggressive. You can be over blunt. But at the same time, starting a new business, starting any kind of new setup, startup, all that is going to be really very helpful in case you want to. You can be very harsh at speech. You can tell lies. You can cook up stories. So you have to be really careful about that. In case you have any kind of plans to take a trip, take up a journey, so that is also quite likely this month. Jupiter is going to be transiting your 11th house. So that is also, of course, a separate video I will be making. So Jupiter's transit in the 11th house is definitely very positive because it's coming out of its debilitation sign. So this is the month where you will feel that you are going to be mixing with people, you're going to be interacting with people. This is the month where you have to be taking care of your health also. You're prone to accidents. Drive safely. When Sun is in Rahu Ketu axis and there's an eclipse, that is on the 19th of November. So plus minus 1 month I do take for lunar eclipse. So take care of yourself and do the chants of sun. You can do Surya Namaskar, you can do Mars's chant, that is, you can do Hanuman Chalisa. If you really want to strengthen this Mars and strengthen your, sun as well. So take full care, take full charge of yourself, and don't ignore your, relationships. Pay attention to your relationship. This is the only highlight that I am stressing on, because that's where, you can have some complications. For student natives, this is going to be a very good transit this month, till the time sun is in your 7th house. The moment sun enters the 8th house, that is the time when you can have some complications in your studies. You can have some subject change. You can have some maybe break in education also. Maybe you will take a break and then a sabbatical, or maybe something to do with your stream change, and then you decide about refreshing things and starting afresh. So do take care of your health. When sun and moon are right opposite in this Rahu Ketu axis, take care of your health after the 16th of November. So you can have you can get entrapped in some scandal, some strategy plannings can go haywire. So do it before the 16th of November. Whatever you have to plan, do it before that. But surely Saturn's aspect on Mars is going to tame the energies, whatever you are feeling about the aggression also. That is also going to get tamed. But at the same time, if you have any property proposal, you might just, lose money on that. So do not get carried away and take wrong decisions in your property matters, in your with your siblings also. So just make sure that you do not get carried away. So just follow whatever and don't make any hasty decisions. All right. Coming to the next sign, that is Taurus. For Taurus natives, Venus is transiting your 8th house, and the whole month long it is going to be in the 8th house. So that is why we have to check. And you have an eclipse happening in your 1-7 axis. So this is definitely going to be impacting your prestige, impacting your name and fame, your relationship. So you have to really be careful. The best remedy I can give you is Saraswati chant. You should do the Saraswati chant. If you want the chant, I will definitely be mentioning it in the description box. And you have till the 16th of November, sun also in your 6th house, which is not considered to be bad, but it is in debilitation sign. And for this, Taurus rising, sun is an Akara Graha. So you might just, come across somebody who is a healer. You will meet somebody who is going to help you come out of your miseries, your problems, some authoritative people, some guru. So this, you should be receptive for that. Jupiter is going to be leaving this zone and going to be transiting your 10th house, which is again a very positive one for making a change, joining some new job, change of place, and it can also lead to some growth prospects for you. Just be careful about the lunar eclipse time. You can go a little crazy, you can go a little haywire in your thought process, and it can lead to some kind of negative tendencies also. You will maybe getting entrapped with the wrong associations, wrong friends you will come across. You can really lead to disharmony in relationships also, because your 7th lord is transiting your 6th house, which is the 12th from itself. So this is also indicative of some litigation, some loans, some diseases. It is good for combating the diseases, but at the same time, it does give diseases as well. So take care of your health simultaneously. The best part about your transit is that Jupiter is going to be transiting your 10th house, and Saturn, your luck is by your favor, because Saturn is your 9th lord and your 10th lord. So this is like the dharma and the dharma trikona, which is getting active, dharma and karma trikona. So this definitely will give you a lot of boost in your work and elevation at the place of work as well. If you are into some business, there can be some losses, but you will definitely be making it up. Do not depend on your friend circle, the people around you. Don't depend too much on them. Okay. Also, Jupiter is going to be in your 10th house. So maybe, you will be coming across a guru or a guru-like figure at the place of work. So seek advice. Don't depend completely on your own thought process. Seek advice, seek help, and that person will definitely extend that help to you. Okay. And Venus transit in the 8th house definitely will give you some health issues and problems with in the relationship also. Maybe some ex comes into your life and spoils everything. So just be careful. Okay. Coming to the next sign, that is Gemini. For Gemini natives, the main thing is that Mercury is going to be transiting your 5th house and then the 6th. So Mercury is going to be in your Libra sign till the 21st, and it's not going to be part of the eclipse though. So this will lead to some new association, new groups. You'll be coming across some new people, some new associates. Student natives might start education, or maybe they'll be enhancing their education, learning new languages also on cards. This month is a very powerful month because Venus is looking at your 1st house. So this will lead to some kind of proposal. Maybe you will be coming across somebody during this time and dating somebody also. So quite likely, just be more you want to be more free. You don't want any kind of intervention. With Venus in Sagittarius, you will become a little serious. You want to commit and you want to be more receptive to your relationships. It's better that you decide and then get into any kind of commitments. Be more judicious about that. Don't take any hasty decision as well. And also this will lead to some kind of beginning of some new venture you are thinking of. It's a partial Yokara Graha, so travels on cards. Maybe some foreign delegates will be coming your way, and you will be deciding about your work and changing the stream also. Mercury, Mars, Sun are going to be in your 5th house zone, aspected by Saturn. So this will lead to some creative energy, some bold decision making. You're going to be deciding about the place change. Jupiter is coming out of your 8th house, which is very positive for you. And this can lead to some relief in your health issues also. If at all you have been going through some health issues till now, definitely this is going to help you. Saturn and Mars mutual aspect, and Saturn looking at Mercury will give you some restriction in at the place of work, to make any decisions in a free flow. So this will restrict you. Maybe you will come across somebody matured, sensible kind, and who's having some, bigger projects on cards. So this is something which is very positive. The Sun is going to be entering your 6th house. 6th house zone is going to be better because it's coming out of the debilitation sign. 6th house Sun is doing good, but it's in Rahu Ketu axis, and we have a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse also here. So this definitely is going to be a little negative for you because you can make some wrong decisions. It can be a defamation for you. So the best would be doing the chant for Mercury, because Mercury is actually also transiting through your 6th house after the 21st. So you can chant Mercury chants, Om Ganganpate Namo Namaha Om. So that is something you should be doing, and don't get into any kind of work which disappoints you yourself. There is some kind of diet that you can initiate, and that backfires. So be careful about what you eat. Going to be little complication that you can go through in conception, or there can be complication in childbirth. That's why I said do the Ganesha chants. It'll really help you. Mercury is your Lagnesh and it's transiting your 5th house zone till the 21st. So, and then it'll be in Rahu Ketu axis. So that's not considered to be a good transit. So let's be practical. If at all you're going through certain things, go for the proper treatment. Don't depend on the chance itself alone. Go in for some kind of counseling sessions. If at all you have to make any kind of decisions related to your childbirth or your education. Some foreign delegates meeting you, coming your way, and it's going to be really very positive for you. For business prospects, of course, it's a very good time. For work also, it's an elevation kind of a time. So enjoy all the things that are happening, and definitely Venus transit in your Sagittarius sign, the 7th house, is positive for you in love and relationship. And don't get over possessive about your partner. Okay, look after yourself, look after your looks. Don't get involved in any scandal. Okay, there can be some scandalous things that you can go through. Okay, coming to Cancer. So for Cancer natives, the eclipse, first of all, is happening because it's a moon sign after all. So the luminaries get eclipsed when there is an eclipse. So they get eclipsed in the lunar eclipse, moon is involved, and so solar eclipse, sun is involved heavily. So here it is happening in your 5-11 axis. So this is not good for your relationship and your friends circle that you're moving around in. It can be giving you some kind of negative energy, distraction. You can go haywire in your in your friend circle. Maybe you can just be distracted, and you can get into addictions, and some wrong kind of friends you can come across. So you have to be really careful about those energies till the time Sun, Mars, Mercury are aspected by Saturn in the Kendra. So this is definitely very positive. Jupiter is going to be transiting your 8th house. So here you have to be really careful about your health, because Saturn is on its own. Jupiter is leaving the Saturn. So the protection that you were having till now in relationship, in your health, in your work culture. So that is actually, in a way, getting a little bit of slip from your hands. So you have to be extra careful. Now you are on your own, because your luck lord is in your 8th house. You cannot depend on your luck. But Jupiter coming out of the sign of debility into the 8th house is definitely better than what it was in Capricorn sign. Venus is transiting all through your 6th house. So the 7th house is well protected. It's in the Shubh Kartari, because Jupiter is in your 8th house, Venus is in your 6th house. So Capricorn sign is going to be really very well positioned, because it's in a Shubh Kartari. So no problem if at all you have to make any decisions related to your relationship, related to your startups. Don't get distracted. Just focus wherever you want to focus. Just think about that only, your goal which is set. And if at all you feel that there is some kind of complications in your childbirth, so avoid the eclipses time, for any kind of treatment. In case you are going in for a treatment, be prepared that, and avoid the new moon time and the full moon times of the month. That is mentioned in the initial summary part. So you can go back and check. Also, we have Mars in your Libra sign in the 4th house. Very good time for property purchase, in case you want to communicate with your siblings, decide about your inheritances and all. So you can do that as well. Mercury is going to be transiting your 4th and then 5th. From 21st onwards in the 5th house. So till the time it's in the 4th, it's considered to be very good. It's maybe, initiation of any kind of education, communication, maybe with the bosses, seniors, colleagues, if at all you want to communicate something, you will be able to do that. It's quite communicative here and very harmonious kind of a relationship with people. So this is going to be giving you that kind of bent of mind as well. And this month will be important for the youth, especially because you are going to be maybe performing some kind of, you'll be taking some kind of major decisions regarding your work, change of place also. This brings about, because 4th house is afflicted, so you will be making some major decisions regarding your workplace or change of place. Okay. And the best remedy I can give you is Om Somaya Namaha. Do that chant for 108 times. It will really help you. And I don't give the chants which are supposed to be given one-on-one, because these are all general remedies that I'm giving on the YouTube. So I prefer doing a personal reading and then giving assigning a chart, assigning the remedy as per that and the chant as per that, and I donate it with the water in my hand, and I just donate it. That's how it is supposed to be. So that's why I said do the simple chants when it comes to your the general chants, because we have all got chakras. So when the chakras they open, we need to close them also. So there is a process for the whole thing. So doing the chants, of course, simple chants you can do which don't have any side effects, but when you do the heavy chants, then they do have side effects if you're not doing it properly. Because we all chant in a very different manner. Everybody's accent is different, everybody's energies are different. So how we are doing, what is the atmosphere, that is really important to check. So whenever you have to chant anything, you should always make sure it's a day chant or it's a night chant. Is it to be chanted during the which time of the day. So all that, you have to be very clear of, and how you have to pronounce the chant. There are certain chants which are not supposed to be chanted completely. There are certain chants which are supposed to be chanted. Maybe there are the bijakshar, they are incomplete. So we need to take a personalized reading for that to understand what chant is supposed to be given to this person, this native in particular. So don't go haywire with the chants that you're getting from the YouTube just like that. Don't do the chants like that. That's why I give the chants which are gentle chants, which are safe chants. So coming to the next sign, that is Leo. For Leo natives, you are having the eclipse this month. So when there is eclipse time, so you do feel a month before, a month after the eclipses, you feel quite restless. You yourself will start feeling the energies very soon that, okay, there are certain changes which are happening. There are certain, at the place of work, at home front, because it's happening in your 410 axis. So there is a likelihood that you are changing the place where you are living, maybe a month before it started to happen. You're already contemplating of quitting the job and changing to another one. Or maybe there are certain bosses or the seniors which are changing, who are changing. So you are feeling that kind of uneasiness and restlessness. You're too detached from your home because of the Ketu influence in your 4th house, and you are focused on your work more. So, or maybe, you're pushed to do the jobs so much that you're not able to devote time to your family much. So that is because of this Rahu Ketu axis. And when there is an eclipse which is happening, so you are actually unable to, focus on the family even more. Because sun is getting eclipse here. Sun and moon are getting eclipse. So you will get a little restless. You will feel very uneasy. So the best chant that I can give you is the Surya chant. Do the Arghya to the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. This is the chant you can do. Add Om towards the end, because you have to close the chant also. So Om Suryaya Namaha Om. So chant it for 108 times. If you can't do it regularly, do it at least on Thursdays and Sundays. These chants are really helpful. And they are general chants. You can go back and hear. I've already mentioned about the chant and how you are supposed to do it, who are supposed to do it. So here you have Mercury, your Dhanakarak, that is your wealth-giving planet, which is in the 3rd house, and it's going to be in the 4th. So when Mercury is in the 3rd house, this is going to enhance your health, your wealth and your health. It is going to give you good health also. Communication skills will increase. But at the same time, Saturn is looking at this zone as well, not to forget. So you can be very restricted to say or speak up, or maybe you are not able to convey what you want to. And people are also, having a lot of misunderstanding because of this. No, this person is, not able to convey the things properly. So all that is also quite likely when Mercury is aspected by the Saturn. There's a lot of restriction in your education, in your communication, and also your relationships, because it's in the sign of Libra. Mars is there, so Mars gives you a lot of courage. It's though combust, it's going to be in planetary war with Mercury. At the same time, it is definitely in the 3rd house. So it will give you a lot of courage, a lot of strength to make decisions, and it can give you some distant relationship with your siblings, your co-bonds also. So Venus is well positioned this month, is in your 5th house, and is going to be giving you a lot of energy to learn new things, follow the path of entertainment. Creative energies are pretty heightened if you are into the glam industry, film industry, or the artistic bent of mind. So this is a very good placement for Venus. Venus is very happy here. Good for childbirth, progeny. In case you are thinking of any kind of travels, you will be actually doing that. Any kind of investments, perfect timing. Saturn is going to be in your 6th house. So this is also not a bad placement for Saturn. So this will give you some kind of, it will give you some relationship issues, but at the same time, it is good for your work. It will give you elevation at the place of work. Health issues can come up, but they'll be also taken care of. Jupiter is going to be in your 7th house. That's a major, major relief for you because it's in the Kendra. And Jupiter and Leo sign ruler, Sun, they are friends. And Sun is also going to be in the Kendra. Jupiter is also going to be in the Kendra, though we have an eclipse. but it's still going to be giving you a lot of relief because it's coming out of the 6th house, and Jupiter is not that great in 6th house. In the 7th house, of course, it is not good for relationship because 7th house zone is ruled by Venus. The Karaka is Venus. So this becomes little uneasy placement. Venus is in the 5th house, Jupiter in the 7th house. So any kind of relationship, any kind of alliance is quite likely. Marriage prospects, you will think of getting married, but to a partner who is spiritually inclined. So that is also quite likely. You might come across some, a healer. That is also quite possible, and you will get good treatment in case you have to start any kind of medical treatment. So you can be doing it when Jupiter is transiting Aquarius sign. Very good for relationship with your friends, the community you move around in. Be more charitable. The best remedy for you is to be more charitable also. Apart from the Arghya to the Surya and doing the Om Suryaya Namaha chant, you should be actually performing some kind of donations also. You should be performing some kind of rituals, homam. All this is also going to help you. And eclipses will give you some kind of restlessness, of course, at the place of work and home. You are in that tug of war, or you're too overloaded with work. You're feeling that, you're not able to spend more time with your loved ones. And that is also giving you a lot of restlessness and uneasiness. Eclipses, actually, whenever there are eclipses for Leo and Cancer, they really, really get impacted negatively. So be extra careful, do the remedies religiously. Definitely you will sail through all this, and don't think only negative about whatever is happening. You are a very, very strong sign. If you feel that there is something wrong in whatever is happening around you, you have to be even stronger. There is something which is actually, the divine energy which is surrounding you. Remember that. So Mars is looking at your 9th house. So there is a luck factor attached to your whatever you're doing. So make the best use of it. Okay. Coming to the next sign, that is Virgo. So for Virgo natives, this month is basically, going to be giving you a lot of knowledge. You're going to be enhancing your skills. You are going to be working through your finances and family also. This is Mercury's transit through the Libra sign is going to be till the 21st. So this is definitely very positive for wealth prospects, also for future growth, education, forming a connectivity with people, influential people. So all that is going to happen in the till the 21st. But then Mercury comes into the 3rd house and is with Ketu in Rahu Ketu axis. So that's the time you will feel a little uneasy, restlessness is there. So you have to be extra careful about what you do, because it's going to be part of the solar eclipse after all. Sun is going to be there and Mercury is also going to be there. So that's the time when you have to be a little extra cautious about your relationship, about your speech, about communication. You can go a little aggressive also, and you can be hurtful. You can be very hurting to others. Be careful about that. Venus is transiting at a good place. Venus is a very positive graha for you. So transiting the Kendra will definitely give you a lot of relationship, solving the relationship issues, or maybe there are certain new people you'll be coming across, and you will be maybe in a get together, you come across somebody, you click and you actually propose to that person, or you date that person, and then you decide that you want to be with this person. So quite likely with this. Venus is Digbali here, so it is definitely very positive and a very powerful planet in the horoscope because it's in the Kendra. So whenever a positive planet is in the Kendra, so it is a big time relief. Must remember, even if there's an eclipse time, even if there is a debilitation of your planet that is Mercury, even then, when there is Jupiter or Venus in the Kendra, so it is going to definitely take care of miseries, obstacles in your life. Start any kind of music. If you want to go in for some artistic bent of mind, if you have, you can just start all those things. It's definitely very positive. Jupiter is going to be transiting your 6th house. Saturn is going to be in your 5th. Eclipse is happening in your 3rd and 9th axis. So all this put together, it can lead to some health issues, communication gap. It can lead to some childbirth issues. Be careful about that. Plan your journeys well. in case you have any short journeys coming over. So you have to be careful on the 19th, avoid 19th, avoid the next month, that is solar eclipse, which is on the 4th of December. So avoid traveling at that time. These are not good dates. It can lead to some injury, or, you can have some problems in your travels. Journeys are to be avoided because it's a 3-9 axis. In case you have to shift out from the place you are living, so that is also, quite likely though, but you should avoid the dates which are, the eclipse's time. Mars is going to be in your second house, so you can go harsh in your speech. You can eat some, spicy food, or, most of the times, and you can have some stomach related issues. So be careful about that as well. Jupiter is going to be good in the 6th house for related to your healing and your health, but it's not considered to be good in the 6th house, being the lord of the 7th lord going to the 12th from itself is not considered to be good for relationship. You can have some complications in relationship, or less time you will be giving in relationship after the 20th of November, when Jupiter is transiting through the sign of Aquarius, and it's going to be there till the next year, 13th of April 2022. It's going to be in your 6th house. I will be making a separate video, maybe 2-3 videos on Jupiter's transit through the Aquarius sign. I will be sharing with you my insights on the same. It's a very major transit, and Saturn being in your 5th house will give you some kind of mental setup towards work even more, or maybe some job change can also happen because it's the 8th from the 10th house. So there can be some change that you're already contemplating on. Okay. So for you, the best remedy would be the Ganesha chant, which is the safest chant. I cannot give you any particular chant because I don't know what is your horoscope saying, which planet is actually requiring the remedy. So in the general manner, when we give the chants, it should be the safe chant. So Om Ganganpataye Namo Namaha Om. This is the chant you can do, and it will definitely take care of many things. Donate something in green pulses, green lentils, or some green color clothes you can donate. It is going to be really helpful because it's going to, this Mercury is going to be in Rahu Ketu axis. So that's the time after 21st of November, you should donate even more. Okay. And if at all you're wearing a gemstone, so that is definitely based on your particular natal horoscope and the dasha. Okay. Not the dasha, but yeah, your planetary positions in the chart. Okay. Coming to the next sign, that is Libra. For Libra natives, Sun is going to be in your 1st house. Mars is going to be there. Mercury is going to be there. So aspected by Saturn, Mars and Saturn in mutual aspect. So this is going to be little dependent on your personal chart, of course. But yes, Venus, your Lagnesh, is transiting through your 3rd house. So very good time for communication with people, with the female counterparts. Some help extended from the female counterparts is going to be really uplifting you. So depend on the decisions of the female counterparts even more. Okay. Aggression, of course, in speech, harshness in speech is likely because Mars, Mercury, Sun in your 1st house, ego clashes with your partner. Ketu in the 2nd also gives you quite harsh speech. So you have a harsh speech is quite visible, evident. Some teeth related issues, eyesight related issues can also come up. And we have Jupiter transiting through your Dharma Trikona, that is your 5th house. Very good time for progeny prospects, if you want to go in for some surgical process for childbirth, or any kind of treatment, or any kind of healing process that you want to start at medical treatment. So you can start when Jupiter is transiting through your 5th house. 5th house is 8th from the 10th. So not a good time to decide on your job change. It's better that you avoid, because Saturn is also looking at your 10th house. So be where you are, status quo. If at all you've already changed once, then you should be sitting tight where you are, rather than, shifting again, because Jupiter is leaving the 4th house and it's transiting your 5th. So quite likely that you are contemplating on the change of job, change of place, if at all you haven't till now. So then definitely you're going to be doing it. But if one change, since Saturn has transited your 4th house, you've already made that change, then this is period. I don't think so you should go in for another change. It is going to be really negative for you. Avoid. Buying, purchasing of property is quite likely. Property may be an old house you're going to be purchasing. You're going to be selling off your vehicle and buying a new one. All the energies are diverted to that. There's an eclipse which is happening in your 2-8 axis. So you have to be taking care of your health. Eat right, because it can lead to some digestive troubles, eyesight issues, some kind of lower abdominal issues also you can have. Because Rahu in the 8th house gives those energies, but definitely very good time for investments, because Rahu is conjunct the 11th lord after all. So it is, it's looking at the 11th lord sun. So you can have some kind of investments and you will make good chunk of money also. Very good time for the authoritative figures till the 16th of November, in case you have to make any kind of strategy planning. If you have to, if you're a trader yourself, you have to go in for some huge investments. So this is going to be really very helpful and a very positive time. In case you have any kind of travel plans, you can make those travel plans also before your sun transits through your 2nd house, and it is going to be giving you some kind of hurtful speech. I repeat, so be careful that you don't hurt others around you, your own people around you. It can lead to some major setback in relationship. It can give you some troubles in relationship. Some break in relationship is indicated, because Ketu is looking at your 6th house, and being the lord of the 7th, Mars is also looking at the 7th. So this is not considered to be that great as far as your relationship is concerned, though Mars is going to be protecting his own house. But it is combust, and it's going to be in planetary war also. Okay. And luck is by your side. Mercury is the luck lord in the 1st house. So luck is by your side. Whatever you're doing, you're being actually appreciated. At the end of the day, you feel that you have a win-win situation. So very positive. The best chant for you would be the Saraswati chant. I'll just pin it down because Venus is the is actually in the 3rd house, and your Lagnesh also. Donate if you want to some white clothes, white things, rice, sugar. Just donate on the Fridays. It is definitely going to be helpful. If you want to draw a swastik, it is also a very good thing. Swastik is to be drawn like this. So it's very, very important. I'll try to pin the swastik also. I don't have it right now, otherwise I would have. Okay. So do the remedies and you'll be definitely sailing through this phase as well. And this is a very positive month for you. Coming to the next sign, that is Scorpio. For Scorpio natives, this is a very good time for investments, travels. In case you have to go in for some kind of new delegates, associating with new people, all that is going to be quite likely. And there's an eclipse which is happening in your first 1-7 axis. So this is going to lead to some kind of miscommunication, misunderstanding in your relationship with the people around you. So you have to be really careful. Mars being the Lagnesh is in the 12th house, very good time for forming some connectivity with the foreigners, overseas people, projects in overseas. They're going to be flourishing. You're going to be very communicative also. Whenever there is a planetary war, I've seen generally, Mars wins. So you are going to be a very, charged up person. You're going to be very positive, buying some gadgets on mind or something to do with engineering, some new projects coming your way. So because Mars and Saturn are in mutual aspect to each other. So very good time for engineers, some innovation, some innovative ideas you're going to be getting, because 11th Lord is also in the 12th. So this kind of connectivity forms, leads to some major changes in life, right now. Maybe you're going to be shifting out from the place where you are and you're going to be moving to some overseas place. So you are contemplating on all these things. Venus is transiting your 2nd house, very good time for forming a connectivity with your people. Venus is also the 7th Lord in the 8th from itself. So this is the time when you will be coming across somebody, or maybe you're dating somebody, there's a scandal at the place of work. So be careful about all those energies, but it's definitely very positive, for pursuing your creativities and your artistic bent of mind that you have. So you will be pursuing all that. You're already feeling those energies, that you are supposed to do something new, something big, some change you are looking at. And with Ketu over your first house, you feel quite detached with the people around you, also with your own self also. Maybe you don't comb your hair also, many days pass and you don't just want to be more connected to the world. You're detaching yourself, isolating yourself. That's not required. You should actually be more outgoing, more because Scorpio sign, these are the people who are not so inclined to be conversing with people. So you are not focusing on yourself. You're just isolating yourself from people, not for your growth. So you should actually be more communicative, more associated with people. Don't isolate yourself. Don't shut yourself up. Okay. So it's definitely going to be helping you. Believe you in me. There's an eclipse happening in your 1/7 axis. So this is something that you have to be extra careful about. Do Hanuman Chalisa regularly. If not, then do it on Tuesdays, especially on Tuesdays, because there's an eclipse happening so on your head. So this can lead to accidents. This can lead to fevers. So you can have some mood swings. So you have to be really careful about all these energies. The full moon in the lunar eclipse and new moon in the solar eclipse. So you have to be extra cautious when sun and moon are together. And that's when the solar eclipse happens on the 4th of December. So that's the time, you will feel those energies even more emotionally. You will be very, very charged up. You will be having a lot of mood swings. Don't make any hasty decisions on these 2 dates, especially, though I take plus minus 1 month to 3 months time to, have any kind of impact of these events. So 19th of November and 4th of December, you have to be a little extra careful about your mood swings and your decision making. It should not get impacted negatively. So do the Hanuman Chalisa and you will definitely feel better. Coming to the next sign, that is Sagittarius. For Sagittarius natives, Jupiter is going to be transiting out of your 2nd to the 3rd house. And that's the time when you will be feeling a lot of communication, a lot of energies towards doing better things in life. Future prospects get brighter. And Venus is over your 1st house, and it is obviously giving you that kind of bent of mind to get married, to get into some relationship, because Jupiter is also going to be looking at the 7th house. Venus is also going to be looking at your 7th house. So this will lead to some new associations. You will come across somebody who is your types and you feel comfortable during this time. Marriage is likely. If you are already married, so the relationship gets better, improvised kind of a relationship you will have. You have the eclipse happening over your 6-12 axis. So this is not a good time for health. So take care of your health, take care of your mood swings. You can maybe, prestige, you have to be taking care of your prestige also, your success in the projects that you have been taking up. Business matters will definitely pick up. Transport related businesses will do better. Youth will get success with courage and valor, because it's in the 11th house, which is there. Harmony between people will be there. So all that is definitely very positive till the time there is Sun, Mars, Mercury in your 11th house. So this is definitely very positive. But when Sun is in the 12th house, that is the eclipse time. So that can lead to some kind of problems related to your health, travels, communication, all that can suffer. And the luck factor actually, is missing. You're doing something, but you're not getting that kind of luck from people. You are expecting that people will support you, but it doesn't happen. So you feel, suddenly you start feeling why people have stopped talking to me, or why I'm not getting that kind of support from the people I was expecting. You had zero inclination, that whiff also, that, oh my God, this person will change drastically. So, but that will happen and that will be right, So just be more receptive to all these energies, because this is eclipse time after all. So it can lead to some hospitalization, health issues. Please make sure, or your loved ones can be in the hospital, or there's imprisonment, there is like a bandhan, where you are feeling those energies even more. Your 2nd house, that is the financials, are going to be very positive. You'll be making a lot of money, because Jupiter and Venus are actually forming a Shubha Kartari for your Second house, Capricorn sign is actually going to be really, wherever your Capricorn sign is, it's actually going to be very positive for those people who have a very strong Capricorn sign in the chart. Planet is there or whatever, like anything related to your second house or your Capricorn sign, because it is in Shubh-Kartri, Jupiter on one side, Venus on the other. So very good time for making money, for future prospects. But at the same time, we should not forget that there is an eclipse happening also in your 12th house, 6-12 axis. Take care of your health. The best remedy for you would be to do the Jupiter's chant, Om Brihaspataya Namaha. That is going to be really helpful. Do it 108 times, and Jupiter is also going to be in your third house. Brihaspati is the planet for you who is going to be really helpful to you to do things, because Jupiter is going to be looking at your Mars, Jupiter is going to be looking at your Mercury, Sun till the 16th Sun, and then after that Mars and Mercury as well. So big time investments, you can go ahead with it. Fixed deposits, they're going to be really good, good arrangement that you can get into. Okay. And Rahu gives health issues, so take care of your health, I would say. Okay. Do the, if you want to make donations, you can make donations for the white things, that is sugar, rice, white clothes. That's also positive for you. Okay. Coming to the next sign, that is Capricorn. So for Capricorn natives, I think this is a very beautiful month for you. For number one, Saturn is over your first house, and there are planets in the Kendras. So they are very positive for you till the 16th Sun is there, and then comes the eclipse time, of course, one Sun is there. So 19th, we have an eclipse. What is happening? Saturn is looking at Mars and Mercury. It is forming a very good connectivity with Mars and Mercury. Mercury is your luck lord. And when Saturn, the friendly planet is Graha, is looking at this Mercury, it's giving you a lot of scope to communicate with people. It's giving you that future prospects, brighter future prospects in businesses, in trade, in commerce, in investments, in education. It is definitely very positive. Jupiter transiting through your second house zone, coming out of the first. So definitely very positive for the financials. And there is a Shubh-Kartri which is forming, Venus on the one side and Jupiter on the other. Very positive for yourself. You can enhance your your growth prospects. You can think of or explore something new, something big during this time, and the divine will be supportive of you, because these are two grahas which are really very positive grahas, and they're definitely going to give you that upliftment. So utilize this time. Mars and Saturn are in mutual aspect, so any kind of purchases of property, land, making any kind of deals is quite likely. Sun and Mars are Digbali here. So any kind of decisions related to your work, related to your land and property, vehicles, education, all that you are going to be making this month. Progeny, if at all your childbirth, if you're thinking of, then you should be going in for extra care, because Rahu is in the 5th house. There can be some complications in your relationship. Some ex can come into your life and just make everything go haywire, bizarre. So it's because Venus is also in the 12th house, being the lord of the 5th. This also leads to complications in relationships, misunderstandings, not good time for, childbirth. In case you have to plan, you have to be really going in for the treatment. And Sun is also going to be under eclipse zone. So any kind of treatment when Sun is eclipsed, Sun is actually the ruler of the 5th house in the natural zodiac, so avoid. And for Capricorn natives, it's the 8th lord also, so you should be extra careful about the childbirth, any kind of initiation of any kind of new job. So that will be also, you have to have another job in hand and then take up the other new one. Okay, so think about all these things and then make a decision. Om Shan Shanishcharaya Namaha is the chant for you if you want to do it, because this is a very simple chant, and it's a very powerful chant, and we cannot chant, if you're giving in general, because there are specific chants I give to people who seek advice from me. But when you are doing it in a very general manner. Okay, Capricorn native, Saturn over the first house. So do this chant. It will definitely be working for you. But I prefer, giving a personalized, reading and giving the chant as per your chart. So it might not give you that kind of an impact, actually, that kind of a positive impact if at all you are not having a personal chant for yourself. So just do the chant, and definitely be careful about the people around you, because Ketu is in your 11th house, Sun is going to be there. So there is a full moon time, eclipse time on the 19th. So be careful about your relationships with your friends, people around you. Visit an NGO, visit an orphanage, donate there. That's the best remedy for this transit over your 11th house zone. And don't depend on advice from your friends. It might just backfire. Okay. Coming to the next sign, that is Aquarius. For Aquarius natives, Saturn is transiting your 12th house and Jupiter is going to be over your first. Some change coming your way. Be careful about your weight gain, because Jupiter in the first house gives weight gain. It is expansive energy, so it can give you ego clashes also. Jupiter is going to be looking at your 5th house. Progeny prospects are brighter. Childbirth. In case you want to go in for some treatment for a childbirth, you should. If you want to conceive during this time, it's very positive. It's looking at your Sun, Mars, and Mercury. So good for authorities, good for promotion prospects, and change of place also. In case you're planning any kind of travels, you can do that during this time as well. Mars and Mercury, of course, are going to be in planetary war, and Sun is going to be under eclipse zone this month. So you have to be extra careful about the workplace. What is the work culture? What are the bosses saying? What are the seniors saying? You should listen to them. You're feeling quite detached, and the energies are pretty detaching from the workplace, and you want to spend more time at home. But it is not going to be happening, because Sun is going to be actually bringing all those energies, empowering all those energies even more. So the more you're detaching from the work, more the interest is losing, the more the Sun is going to be giving you that kind of workload. So you have to be prepared for this. And maybe some place change is likely, some home, decoration, renovation is quite likely. Also, Venus is going to be in your 11th house. So good for matchmaking, in case you want to get into any kind of alliance, any kind of relationship, you want to date somebody. So leaving the ex-partner and hooking on to another one, that is also quite likely with this. Your 12th house is in Shubh Kartari. So when 12th house is in Shubh Kartari, so it's very good if you are traveling or having any kind of connectivity with the foreigners or the foreign land, or you are into investments. So this is going to enhance those energies even more. You're going to be making money during this time. It's because Saturn is a karma karak, and it is your Lagnesh also in the 12th. So it is going to be definitely giving you elevation in the work and your career. Okay. And just make sure that you are taking good care of your health, and because it can lead to some lower abdominal issues, so take care of that. So for you, the best remedy is Om Sham Shanishwaraya Namaha. Then add Om towards the end. Do it for 108 times on Tuesdays and Saturdays. If you can't do it every day, at least on Tuesdays and Saturdays, do this remedy. I believe in personalized remedies. I give personalized chants, because these are all general chants. So you can open your chakras, but they don't get shut, and there is complication. That's why Om in the beginning and Om in the end, so that it becomes very simple and less complicated. But there are certain chants, which are supposed to be done by a person in particular. So that depends on your personal chart. So unless you book a reading, you will not get to know what exactly is the remedy that you're supposed to do, and how you can make the best use of those planets, or best use of your horoscope and your dasha. So that is something which you should actually, go in for. Anybody, any astrologer of your choice, and take the remedies as per your horoscope. Okay. So maybe, you have a toothache and you take the pill of your stomach pain. So, which is not your pain, you're just having a toothache and you're taking the medicine for the stomach. So that's not right, right? So that's how it works. So have a good time, because I think till the time Sun is in your 9th house, things are better, but not good for your dad, actually. It's for father, it's not considered to be good transit, because number one, sun is in debility, and secondly, it is in the 9th house. So it's it's Karko Bhavna Shai. So also, sun is going to be in under eclipse, so you have to take care of your parents' health. This is applicable to one and all. Whenever sun and moon are eclipsed, some obstacles, some hurdles, some complications happen to the parents also. So you take care of your parents' health. Okay. Coming to the last sign, that is Pisces. For Pisces natives, the best thing is that Jupiter is coming out of the debilitation sign, and it's going to be there only after 12 years now. So it's coming out of the debilitation sign, but it's entering the 12th house zone. See, 12th house zone is generally, considered to be not bad for Jupiter, because, you feel quite emotional about yourself, about your religious belief system. You're detaching yourself, isolating yourself from the world. And it also gives you the spiritual inclination. So Jupiter's transiting here is definitely very positive, and 11th house is hemmed between two benefic planets, that is in Shubhakartari, Jupiter on the other and Venus on this side, and Saturn being the karma karak. So very good time for elevation at the place of work, elevation in your overall life. You're going to be changing your perspective towards life. You're going to be enhancing your friend circle. You're going to be enhancing your outlook. You're going to be enhancing and working on your own self and your investments, on your how you look at things. Okay. It is definitely going to be giving you good results with Jupiter transiting and Venus transit. Venus is also going to be here for a long, long time, till February, actually. In between, it is going to be in Capricorn sign and then going retrograde and again going back to the, Capricorn sign, finally in Feb. So next year. So this is definitely going to be very positive for you, I feel. And also we have an eclipse happening in your 3-9 axis. Travels is a big no-no on the especially 19th of November and 4th of December. Avoid travels, plus minus 1 month I do take, but if you can't avoid, you can't help it, start in the early morning hours, 4 a.m. or Brahma Muhurta, is 2 hours or 3 hours before sunrise time. So start your journey during that time, even if the flight is late, maybe later in the noon or in the evening, but leave the house at least, in the early morning hours. So that is a big time remedy I'm giving you. For Jupiter chant, I can give you Om Brihaspataya Namaha Om. Do that chant. Brihaspati is the planet for you who is actually coming out of the debilitation sign. So it will give you a lot of inclination towards improvising on yourself, as I said. And Mars and Mercury are going to be in your 8th house, and that can lead to some scandals, some complications with your siblings, co-workers, and also with your business partner. So make sure that you do not fall prey to that. Some complications with your in-laws also can happen if at all you are already married. And initiation of relationship is also visible. Dating somebody at the place of work, maybe some new alliance, marriage, starting a new relationship is visible, evident. But do not get carried away in the circle you move around, and you can just get carried away and you can make some wrong decisions because the other person is saying so. So be more mindful, be more receptive to everything. Om Brihaspataya Namaha is a chant for you, and you can donate something in white on Fridays. That is something to do with rice, sugar, something white clothes, white dresses. You can just donate to the girls especially, okay, if you want to do some remedies like these. Though I believe in a personalized remedy, I don't give remedies like that because, these remedies are very general remedies. And the best would be, as I said, for the other sign also, that, if you have a toothache, how can you have a medicine for the stomach? Okay, so that is how, these remedies are judged when you see your personal chart. So you should go in for the personalized reading with the astrologer of your choice, and then that astrologer will be giving you some remedies as per your chart if it's required. Okay, so have a great month ahead, and I hope you all have understood what is happening coming our way, and it's going to be really wonderful, I'm sure, for one and all. Have a great month ahead, have a great festival, Diwali, and we do have eclipses, so take care of your mindset, and your mental setup. All right. Stay blessed, everyone. And do drop an email at vlastrology24@gmail.com in case you're looking for a personalized reading, or visit our website, vlastrology.com, for that. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Om Tat Sat.